The story of Wajipha. Our child, I shall start with once upon a time. Once upon a time, this is a story. This is a story of your great-grandmother, Wajipha. You ask us to come in and give you some information. So what we would like to tell you, that this is a small aspect of the entity of the energy called Wajipha that was experiencing a physical existence. Now, what we would like you to know, what we want you to understand, is your connection with your ancestor. Even though you connect in terms of you have the same name, which means that gives you a greater resonance for aspects of emotion or personality, we would like you to understand that you are your own person. But there was a residue. There was a residue that you decided you wanted to heal this. You wanted to heal this aspect of the line within your family of ancestry. So what you decided is that you would come in and yes, you would participate in maybe something not quite the same, but very similar, an aspect. So there was an aspect that your ancestor was unable to completely clear, and what that was the relationship of the mother and the child, and the certain aspects of that relationship. So there is a loss, the loss of a mother, the loss a mother feels when she has lost a child. But there was a double-edged sword to this, because it was the loss that she felt, she thought at that time, because of her inexperience, that she had presented it, that it was her fault. So what happened through that experience, she changed her name, which meant she changed the resonance, the frequency that she was on. She created a new timeline. Now, what that meant was that for you, when you incarnated, another generation, 2 generations afterwards, you were carrying that resonance. And that resonance is of isolation, okay? The name that she gave herself, yes, it means I've killed myself. But in reality, it is of isolation. So it is understanding what it feels like to be isolated, and to be isolated from the family perspective, from the mother perspective, from the female perspective. So this is the resonance that you have been carrying from your great-grandmother, Wajipha. Now you are a descendant of Selena, Wajipha's daughter, who had many losses. She had many children that she lost. So she was carrying part of the isolation. And then she had your father. And what has happened is that when you spoke and you wanted this name, even though it was very interesting with you as an energy, because you were going to support the child that was going to be born to your father, who decided at the last moment not to come in. And you came in and you reversed the role. So the child that was meant to come into your father stayed in spirit and is guiding you, and you came in and you have been fulfilling this existence as Wajipha. So what the story is, an aspect of your great mother, is that she never felt understood. She never felt understood because she had the most amazing imagination, and she had the ability to create. Not only did she create children, she could create things out of dust, out of dirt, out of sand. She was a creator. And what happens is when you are a creator, you have a vivid, wonderful imagination. Now, her imagination and her contact with spirituality, different aspects of spirituality, started when she had the great loss, which was the loss of her first child. As she did not understand what was happening. How could she? She was a child. Now you have a better understanding of this perspective because you have incarnated into a reality where there are clear definitions of what children are, what children should do, when is the age appropriate for you to be having children. Now, this is a time that falls not so much for you, but is within the family system. This is a theme that is running within the family system still at this time. When is it an appropriate time to have a child? Because we do not want, the ancestors no longer want children having children because they would like to have children experiencing life, what their ancestors want. We want, what you want on an energetic level is for your descendants, for our descendants to experience life in its full capacity. So now we are going to go back to the story, to the aspect that you are connected to, the aspect of Wajipha. Now what happened, our child, is the story is that Wajipha never got over the losses that she had. The losses were of children, but she suffered a greater loss. She suffered the loss of the man that she loved, the husband that she knew to be her husband, the man who showed her gentle consideration, who forgave her when she could not forgive herself with the loss of their first child. She lost him. He was fighting in a war, a second war that he fought. So what happened? What has happened is, from that karmic residue for you in this incarnation, you are carrying residue, ancestry from the European aspect. Now, what happened is that she, her husband, the love of her life, fought against the Germans. He was murdered by the Germans. And what has happened is that the resonant, the energy has come to play in your existence from your relationship or the connection that your mother and father have. Your mother brought into the line the residue, into the ancestry, this kind of aspect. And this aspect plays a part in your existence and the relationship that you in this incarnation with the aspect of Wajipha have. So do you understand that this has been perfectly orchestrated for you to have these kinds of experiences that you are carrying from the resonance of your ancestor? Now, what you have allowed your ancestor in this incarnation is to have some peace around the experience that she had when she lost her child and changed her name. How have you done this? You have done it in a way, in a beautiful, beautiful way, that you, when you incarnated and you had your last child, you gave your last child the name Chilani, the name that your ancestor was born with, Chilani. And what you have done is you have cancelled out that residue, that energy, And you have to understand that man, that father, that male energy that brought in Shilani carried the energy of the ancestor who murdered, who killed Wajipha's husband. So this was the end of that karmic structure. Do you understand? Now, what you also have to understand is that's why that relationship ended. It was meant to end because this was a karmic debt that had been paid. Now, we would like to tell you, we want you to know that there is nothing wrong, that there's absolutely nothing wrong that you have done, our child. Because what you have done is, you have changed the trajectory by understanding the story. But the way you did it was by feeling it, not having, or maybe having a little bit of an inclination, but not the cognitive inclination while you were going through the experience of what you were doing. So what we say is that you had the accumulated effect, which means you have the hindsight now to understand. And having this hindsight is what clears the trauma through the family line. So this has been broken, and what we would like you to understand is that this connection, this is the connection of you and your ancestor Wajipha. So what we would like you to do is we would like to thank you, and we would like you to know that we are grateful that you have created an aspect through your drawing so we can come and tell you and explain the story of your line and how you have severed those ties. So thank you, our child. Intrinsically, Wajipha. So what, our child? Our child, we would like you to know. What Wajipha would like you to know is that she sits in the space and she holds the space for you. She has been observing, because from her reality, when she was in her physical incarnation, she did not have the chance. She did not have the opportunity to sit and observe. So she has been observing and collecting information. Through her observation, through her collection of information, what has happened is the energy, the resonance has expanded. She has expanded, and this expansion has come through your family line. So what we are trying to show you, what we would like you to understand, is how the resonance moves intergenerationally. Now, what we would like you to know about Wajipha, when she incarnated, when she was in this physical reality, she had a curiosity for things that were different. So this child, this energy named her children names that were not traditional spiritual names to her perfection. What she did was she was so inquisitive about these new ideas that people brought to her, as you would say, these people of different skin tones, these people of different skin tones and different language. She could master language. She could understand language because she understood the resonance, the rhythm. She used the understand of rhythm to understand language. And when she saw these people, when she heard these people reading, they were making sounds that she did not understand, but she was drawn to the resonance, to the sound. You have to understand that while she was hearing these sounds, she was with child. She was with your grandmother. Your grandmother, you're a direct descendant from the mother of your father. She gave her a Jewish name. She understood a Jewish name. What was a Jewish name to her? It was different. It was something that was different. It caught her curiosity. What she didn't understand was that she was making these connections that were going to change the trajectory of her line. So this natural curiosity that she had, she brought with her child, with Selena. Selena was able to pass this curiosity onto her children. But unfortunately, Selena got to experience a lot of loss, the loss of children, many children. And this is something that carries on coming through the line. It's understanding the loss and not letting that loss, even though it is a huge loss, affect your personality, which is something extremely difficult. And we have been watching and we have been learning, because what we see from our perspective as an experience, what happens, it manifests in such depression. And we see the line of depression coming in succession. But what you have to understand, our child, that to clean, to reduce, or to inflame, because you also need to understand that there is another aspect that has come into your family line, which is the Zulu Ingoni side. Now you understand, our child, and we know, we understand, you understand, we know, you know, we see, you see the heightened energy that brought into the creative momentum of your family line, of your female family line from your father's side. So you need to understand, our child, that your resonance and what you have brought to your descendants, as in your children, is the family line. Now there are people within this current existence who feel that they are directly connected to her, but they are not. They may have aspects of her, but those aspects are connected to the male side, to the Ingoni side, to the fighting side. And that is what is warring. That is causing this disruption within. So what we would like to tell you, our child, what we would like you to do, to know, is that everyone comes on a frequency, on an energy, with a frequency, with a residue that they are moving through. So as we have told you before, as we have just mentioned, that you are carrying the maternal side of your father's side. So there are aspects that other people have of your great-grandmother, but for you, the aspect was the connection of the mother and the child, but also the connection from her inquiry, of the interest, of her understanding. And that is why she is there. She has been there with you, observing it. And that is why, our child, you have seen yourself being pulled from continent to continent to continent. And you ask yourself, why is it that I just can't stay in one place? Why you do that? Why you can't do that? But you don't do that because the experiences that you are having, that you are your ancestors are having through you are experiences of curiosity of relationships, of understanding different perspectives from different cultures, from places far. So you have seen your life, our child. You have the resonance of the Swan River water. You have that resonance. That is where your point of creation started. Then you were shifted. You were shifted to the ancestral land where you got to spend all your formative years with the sense of your cultural heritage. Then you were moved back to the Swan River, where you got to experience the harshness of the reality that the people, the indigenous people that you, yes, you, our child, carry a residue. Even though it is not expressed in the way that people feel that it should be expressed. You carry that residue you carry that has only manifested within your system when you, a child, experienced the heartache, the heartbreak that your great-grandmother experienced when you, a child, lost your child, but then you were gifted with the child that changed the trajectory of you and your descendants. So through that experience, through that exchange, you were given the ability to speak the language of frequency, the language of dots, the language which has taken you. It has taken you such a long time for you to begin to understand that this is a language. This is a frequency that you have been using so readily. It has been available to you, and your great-grandmother has been observing this process. But what we would like you to understand is that what comes into resolution in this experience from you or for you is the magicalness, the magical understanding which comes from your maternal side. Yes, our child, from your maternal side. And this is merging in this time, in this current process, with the physical reality of the father's side. Our child, we thank you. And yes, we are explaining the story, the resonance of the soul that existed, Wajipha, and how she is intrinsically connected with you. A good day. So as the story continues, as the story unfolds, what happens is a painting is presented to you. You come up with this information, and once this has been created, you are able to fall into it, to feel the expression, to understand the resonance. And from that resonance, now what we are imparting to you is the ability to actually transpose this reality. Now, when we talk about this reality, what we mean is that you are able to tell the story. The stories are coming through the storylines, through the ancestry, and the ancestral stories are coming through the paintings. They are coming through the resonance. So what has happened? What happened with your education, with your understanding, you were given the ability to create an imprint, an impression, an expression, or a future manifestation. So these creative moments that you have been sharing or you have been understanding So it may have been extremely complicated, difficult perspective, and also difficult position that you have been in, because you have not been able to interpret or to explain, and because the consciousness was not open at the time for these expressions. You could not share it. But there has been an awakening, there has been an opening, and the consciousness is now open. It is because this is a consciousness that was seeded by you, seeded by others like you. So they are open, they are aware, they can read, they can understand the language that you are speaking. So the concept, the idea of an imprint is nothing to them, because they understand it, they get it. But what is happening now, what we would like to explain to you, is that you are getting a third dimensional reality that is appearing on your paper. But on that piece of paper, on that canvas, on that textile, on whatever medium you are using, the story is being transposed. It is being transmitted. It is a language, and it is a language of thought. It is a language of emotion. It is a language of reality. What it is trying to show you, what it is trying to show everyone, that you are an aspect. What you are experiencing is only a piece, only a segment of who you are. Indeed, only a tiny segment of who you are. So what we would like you to do is we would like you to enjoy. Start enjoying these experiences, because you have people as in you have the current incarnation of Zuwa Sun. Zuwa Sun is here to transmit, to transpose, to tell the stories of the generations, of the lines. They will explain to you, they will express, they will bring you the connection that you so need, so that you can begin to enjoy, so that you can begin to expand and to grow and nurture your conscious reality. So what we would like you to do is we would like you to share these experiences. So what we have shared is a deep and personal connection between the original Wajipha and the Wajipha who stands before you. But what we would like you to know, that there were original Wajipha, that we are, the original Wajipha has been very much grateful and is very happy with how the story unfolds. But she is open to the story changing. So she has helped this incarnate to incarnate into the sun, into Zuwa, and sun. And what Zuwa and what sun represent is curiosity. The curiosity that the energy Wajipha had right at the beginning of her conception. What she has brought is that combination, the combination of language, the combination of vastness, the combination of warmth, the combination of creativity, the combination of the unbounded, the endless creativity of the sun, of the Zuwa, of the heart. So what we would like to do, we would like to welcome you into the story, welcome you into these stories that Zuwa, that the sun is sharing with you. Because the magnitude that she has, that we have, that we would like you to understand, and we talk to you as you are here, but we also talk to the other aspects of you that are in many different realities. And we can understand for sure that some of you have no idea what we are talking about, and it might be a little bit of nonsense. Now, if that is the case, if that is how you are feeling, that is absolutely okay. Because we know that on some level there is a resonance. There is a resonance. There is a part of you that will have some kind of connection that we are talking about what we are talking about. Because you are connected to your resonance, and we are all intrinsically connected. So every single person who is here right now, in the present or in the future, or has been in the past, will be connected in some way to the realities that we are talking about. And these are amazing realities and stories. And what we would like you to know, that these are stories. This is not the sum of you. This is not the sum of you. But in this incarnation, in this reality, to stay present to the story that you are telling, it is a story. It is this story. But understand that this is only a story because you are so much more. So thank you for giving us the space to explain, to introduce, to show you a little bit of who we are through this artwork, through the drawings, through the dots, through the colors. Whatever it is that you might be inspired by, we are happy that we have inspired you. But we would like you to listen to the resonance, to the frequency of our voice, because this is where we sit. This is where we all sit. We are a note, a little note in space and time that is forever present in every single reality that is happening right now in this present time. So we thank you for this space. Good day.